Fuck it.
Fuck it. Fuck it.
Hey mama, welcome to Fuck It Mothering. My name is Amanda and I am a life coach for moms. I'm an intentional single mom to 4 girls living in sunny Wisconsin. Just kidding, we have like 6 months of winter. My Shih-Tzu Chewbacca is my one true life partner. I laugh too loud, prefer beer over wine, curse like a sailor, and I'm dedicated to teaching other moms the tools to reclaiming their lives. Not in a Kate Chopin The Awakening way. You don't need to give up living and throw yourself into the sea. You can keep your kids and your sanity and also be a whole ass person outside of being that kid's mom. The secret? Learning when to say fuck it. Welcome everyone to this episode of Fuck It Mothering. I am your host, Amanda Haro, and I have another awesome guest, and I'm going to let her introduce herself.
Hi, everyone. My name is Mariela Desantiago. I am so excited to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much for joining us. I really enjoyed our little chat that we had previously. I absolutely love what you do. I'm really excited to dive into this. So please tell everyone else what it is that you do and who you help.
So I have a huge passion after becoming a mom, like many moms, of just, I kind of feel like I found myself all over again in this unexpected role, but I love to support moms, new moms, second-time moms, moms that are going through it and have a pretty big gap between kids because so much changes, and I feel like there's a big lack of resources, yet there's a ton of resources. It's just a matter of how do we get connected with the right ones. So, yes.
Right. And when you say resources, what kind of resources?
So that being said, I have my own parenting podcast called the New Mom Talk Podcast, where I have experts come on and answer commonly Googled topics with evidence-based information. So anything related to nursing, labor, pelvic floor. And then in addition to that, I have a mom group. So I have 2 branches of a mom group called Carlsbad Mom Crew and San Diego Mom Crew. With that, I bring moms together through different events. And through those events, I also like to connect the moms with products or services that they otherwise wouldn't have known about, to share the different resources. And some of those can be like, the other day we had a pelvic floor chat. So we had 2 pelvic floor therapists go over the pelvic floor and share different moves that moms can do postpartum. I also connect them with baby products. If there's like a new business that is just launching, like let's say these healthy snacks, because again, we are just bombarded with the same stuff, the big brands, the big companies that can market to us, and you only know what you know, which is really whatever you see out there when you're at Target or Whole Foods, or maybe you hear it through a friend. And so I'm trying to kind of close that gap and just make this alternative space for both moms and connect them with the different services, providers, companies that would be able to help them out, you know. And some of that stuff is even like, let's say, a car seat cleaning company, right? Your car seats, let's face it, they can get really gross, right?
Oh my God, they can get disgusting. I once threw a car seat away because I had an extra one, and I was like my kid barfed chocolate, like she had eaten too many M&Ms and she barfed chocolate and all over it. And it was like in all the cracks and crevices. It was like, it was everywhere. And I was going into like the cleaning process and I was like, nope, this one's being thrown away. This is how I'm going to decide which one of these to get rid of. This one got barfed on with chocolate and I'm not cleaning it. I'm not doing it.
Yeah, exactly. And like this, and buying a new car seat, it's not cheap. It's anywhere from $250 plus, right? Depending on the type of car seat that you have. So like I had an event where we had a little park meetup. Moms came out with their kids. We played at the park and they could drop off their stroller or their car seat while we were playing at the park. So it's kind of like you hit 2 birds with 1 stone. You learn about a new business that is helping you.
Yeah. Yeah. That's awesome. I love that so much. And so tell us, like, what was your journey into motherhood?
So it's very interesting because before I became a mom, I was a special ed teacher. I had been engaged for over a year, and my now husband and I at the time, we were kind of like, whatever happens, happens. I wasn't sure if I wanted to be a mom. So anyway, it happened. And then all of a sudden I found myself in this like new role. And I did not think that I was going to like dive in and love it as much as I do, but I did. I dove into it. I realized I was struggling during that postpartum stage, as many moms, with like finding the right information. I was on Google. You know how they tell you sleep when the baby sleeps? That's a load of crap. You can't. Who does it? And if there is a mom out there that does it, more power to you. I wish I had that willpower. But I couldn't. I was so nervous about everything, right? Like, when do you transition your baby from like a bassinet to a crib? What about the rolling over? Is he sitting up at the right time? What about all these milestones? And I was just stressing about all of these things that I really shouldn't have been stressing about, but I was on Google. And what does Google do? Well, it gives you contradicting information.
Yeah.
And so instead of sleeping, I also was not getting the answers. And I just became so overwhelmed and searched for various different podcasts that were going to give me just little snippets, evidence-based information of like, here are the answers to the common questions. I'm not going to tell you what to do, but just this is the information. Do what you will with it. Mm-hmm. So after many months of searching, I didn't find anything. And there's lots of wonderful parenting podcasts out there, but it wasn't what I wanted. I wanted something that was like 20 minutes, very short, sweet resource, evidence-based answers that I could actually be like, no, this is what the science says, and here's what I'm going to do with it. And I decided to just dive into it. I did it after, I want to say it took 3 months to get it all started and set up interviews. And I love it. I learned so much. Yeah. Like, I didn't know what a pelvic floor was until 8 months after having my son.
I didn't know what a pelvic floor was until my youngest was like 5. I was like, oh, this is great information for me to have now.
Right?
I've already birthed 4 children. Thanks.
Exactly. Yes. And that's like, and I kept hearing about people doing sleep training, and I just didn't really understand the whole concept with sleep training. So I wanted to know more about it, because especially right now, you hear a lot of people that are either super hardcore against it or super hardcore for it. And I don't want to be the person that tells you what direction you need to go in. And I don't want to be the person that tells you what worked for me, so therefore this is the only way to do it. I just want to provide you with the evidence so that you can decide what's going to work for you and your family. It's different for everyone.
Yeah. Yes. And that's what I love about it so much, because, like, I'll be totally honest. When I first read your message that you sent me, I wasn't sure if it was going to be a good fit, because I'm super, super big on the, no one is an expert. We're everyone just needs to do what feels best and most aligned with them. Like, you are the best parent for your kid, and I am the best parent for my kid. And that's going to look different sometimes, and that's okay. And so I really love that you're really just truly compiling just good information. So that way moms have the answers to the questions that they're Googling, and then they can make their own choice, right? You're not really positioning any of these experts as this is the only way to do it the right way. It's if you're interested in sleep training, here's an expert on sleep training.
Yeah. And what do you need to know, and how there's so many different ways to go about it. And because not every kid is different. I mean, we go to the beach, and for me, it's super easy because my toddler loves to play in the sand. He will sit in the sand the entire time. I have a friend whose toddler's same age and complete opposite. The she gets to the beach and she just bolts. And so my friend doesn't get to just hang out with me. And I'm like, I can't give you advice, right? Like there's just no way to say, well, this is going to work. No, different interests.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Totally different little humans. They're all just their own tiny little autonomous beings.
Yeah. And I think that's why for me personally, like I just love the science behind it. And there's a lot of information that lacks science because, obviously we're not going to be like, okay, pregnant moms, why don't we have a group of you drink and find out what happens? Like, no, you can't do studies. It's so unethical on that. Or like, okay, all of you guys are nursing. Let's have you do this and find out what happens. Like, that's why there isn't information on like, or a lot of data. Most of the stuff is just surveys or kind of just data based off of like questionnaires. But there isn't a lot of information of like drinking while nursing, when's the appropriate time and whatnot. And so people have very strong opinions on things like that. And I'm just like, I want to just give you like what the data says and what the data lacks and what are the recommendations based off of like a lactation consultant who follows the CDC guidelines, right? Like that stuff.
Right. Yeah.
So very simple and easy. I'm not for or against whatever. You do you. Just make sure baby's healthy and you also get the support that you need. I think that's also the biggest part is like, as moms, we dive in so hard into keeping a little human alive that we kind of tend to forget about ourselves when we ourselves are going through the recovery, right? You just had a baby, your body's changing, your hormones are crazy, maybe your hair is falling out, you are eating like a bear because maybe you're nursing.
Yeah.
And you're sleep deprived. And so like, there's just ways to, if you don't really have the supports, to be able to kind of also just set boundaries and ask for help when people come to visit you. And like, postpartum is my favorite topic to talk about, but just to be able to like support yourself and figure out how can you get what you need.
Yeah, exactly. And there's a huge lack of support for women in postpartum. It's very much kind of just like they hand you the baby and they're just like, all right, bye, good luck.
Yes. And like, you go to so many appointments during your pregnancy. And then, all of a sudden, and there's so much focus on what the baby needs, your baby registry and all these cute clothes and onesies and whatnot. No one talks about the postpartum stage, about like, here's what actually happens to your body. So maybe put some recovery stuff on there.
Yeah.
Or maybe ask for money to go towards a meal service or a doula.
Yes.
Like,
yeah,
that's really what you need.
It would be so much more helpful than the latest and greatest, like, I don't know, whatever stupid crap they're always
like there's
flinging onto baby registries.
Yeah, like there's that bassinet that's like $1,200.
Oh my God, yeah.
And how long is a baby in a bassinet for?
Like a couple months max.
Mine was in his for 2 months and he hated it. That just would have been such a waste of time. Like thinking about $1,200 that can go towards feeding a house cleaner, right? Or somebody that can come and maybe like a postpartum doula that you see, maybe a lactation consultant that you may need, or a food delivery service, a postpartum food delivery recovery service. Like there's just so much that you could do with some of this money that we put into this cute stuff that we have no idea if our kid is going to need or like, but we do it anyway because we're told we need it.
Yeah. I know. Like, lo and behold, I very rarely use the cute baby clothes. They lived in onesies, like the footed pajama onesies, because it was easy and simple and kept them warm. All my babies were born at the end of the year. So like October through December, it's winter and I'm just like, that's it. That's what ended up being like their uniform for like the first years, just footed pajamas.
Yeah, and they outgrow it, right? And so you spend all this money on this like cute stuff that they're not even going to be able to wear for very long, if they even get to wear it at all.
Right. Yes, exactly. And it's usually like really difficult to clean. Like my mother-in-law at the time, for my first baby, she got her this ridiculous dress. It was silk. It was actual legitimate silk. And I was like, oh my God, I don't want to put her in this. Cause she had like, my baby had like stomach issues. So she was like constantly barfing. Oh. And I'm like, I'm not going to put her. It was a dry clean only 100% silk baby dress. I was like, this is fucking ridiculous. Why did you get her this?
Oh my goodness. I didn't read the tag.
Like, I mean, it was cute, but oh my God. And we have like a couple pictures of her in it before she barfed on it, you know, but I felt so ridiculous taking a baby dress to the dry cleaner. I was like, I am not this kind of mom. This is not me at all. I don't give a shit about this.
Yeah. I tell anyone that asks me for my opinion, like if there's any advice that I can give you aside from like you ask for things that you actually need for your postpartum, is just get hand-me-downs for that first year because they outgrow it. It's once they hit that 1 year mark that they actually get to wear their clothes a lot longer, right? Because they're leaning out, they're getting taller. So they're able to fit in their clothes for much longer. Like I've actually been able to get 2 summers of shorts, like the current shirts that my son has. He's literally been able to have them for last summer and this summer, which, you know, that's worth spending on.
Right. Yes. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, that first year they barf so much and all the blowout diapers and they grow so fast. It's like, no, do not spend money on expensive clothes for babies.
No. And spend it on like clothes that you are going to feel good in during that postpartum state.
Yes, exactly. Be so much better to invest that money into clothes for you because your body changes so much. And you know, it takes so long for that fourth trimester belly to go down. And it would be such a more worthwhile investment to have invested money into clothes for me. Cause I mean, so many women end up just staying in their maternity, like leggings and pants for like the year afterwards, you know, cause they still fit cause they're like, they go with you and they're comfortable and, you know, you're just like kind of reluctant to buy a different size of normal clothes than you would prefer to, and all of that stuff. But it would just be, it would be so much better to just like love the body that you have right now, buy clothes that fit your body right now.
And that make you feel good because that is a huge difference. Like when I brush my hair versus when I just put it in a low messy bun, like I feel like a different human. And
yes, completely. Yeah. Today was like the first day this week that I've actually managed to curl my hair. It's just been like in a ponytail and I feel like a whole new woman today because my hair is done.
Yes, it's so true. Like we are definitely, at least I was super hesitant to buy anything because I'm like, well, I'm only going to wear it for a few months. I don't know how long. Same with nursing bras. I now know I wished that I had actually purchased nursing bras that I really, really liked or shirts that I really, really liked. Things that I knew I was going to be comfortable in because I literally just lived in, so I didn't buy maternity clothes. I ended up just buying the Lululemon Align pants that like expand, which are like the yoga pants. And then once my belly got really big, I just wore the Bella band to kind of keep them up.
What's that?
It's that like band that goes around your belly to help keep if you are wearing, you know, your regular jeans, it helps keep them up. Which was great. And I just, you know, I had my normal t-shirts, my loose t-shirts, but that's what I lived in postpartum, which was fine. It was great, but I just do wish that I had kind of invested on cute clothes that I was like, oh, I feel cute instead of I'm in my athleisure wear again.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, because it does make a really big difference. And you're worth the investment, right? It's like the clothes that you have in your closet should be like your body deserves to be adorned the way that it's showing up for you today.
Yeah, and you spent 9 months.
10 months. It's 10 fucking months. I hate that everyone says it's 9 months. It's not. It's 40 weeks. 40 weeks is 10 months. Why does everyone perpetuate this lie that we're only pregnant for 9 months? It is 10. I'm sorry. No, that is a sore point for me.
That is true. Because I've always thought about that too. But I'm like, well, okay, well, it's like, yeah. So
no, 40 weeks is full term. 40.
Yeah. So, you're like literally you're housing another human. Like you might as well take care of yourself in stuff that's going to make you feel good.
Yeah, exactly. And for me, for my first pregnancy, my mom took me out shopping for maternity clothes. And that was that was so special. And it was so nice for me to have clothes that were made specifically for my body that was growing and changing and stuff as I grew a human. And so I was very good about buying maternity clothes and nursing bras. I was horrible about buying regular people clothes when I wasn't pregnant. That's what I sucked at. I was like, maternity clothes still work. It's fine. I'll just wear this. But it didn't make me feel good.
Yeah. And then, you're holding on to your previous clothes, your pre-pregnancy clothes, hoping that, well, I know I'm going to fit into it. And maybe you do, but maybe it just doesn't fit the right way anymore because, again, your body has changed. Your hips have changed. So I did end up holding on to all of my clothes until I was like, okay, this is my normal size now. I was able to get back down to essentially my normal size, but I went through everything and I got rid of a ton of stuff that I was like, this is no longer my style. Or
right.
As a mom, I don't want to be wearing this anymore.
Yeah.
But there's definitely things that I'm like, yeah, this is still what I want to be wearing. And it's okay if I'm a mom and people are like, oh, maybe she shouldn't be wearing that. Whatever, it's my body and how I feel best.
Yes, exactly. I think that's what everyone should just focus on when they're picking clothes for themselves. It's does this suit, does it fit the person that I am? Does it fit the person that I'm becoming? Do I feel good? Is it comfortable? Do I like myself in this? And then just end it there because everyone's always going to have their opinions. And personally, I don't believe that a mother should look any type of way because it's not we're all so different.
Yeah.
What you like is going to be different than what I like. And that's totally fine. It doesn't have to mean that something is inappropriate. It's just no, I just like this. I like crop tops and I'm a mom of 4. Fuck you. I'm going to wear a crop top. I don't care.
Yeah. I'm my cheeky bottoms for my swimsuits. I like the cheeky bottoms. And if it makes you uncomfortable that my cheeks are out, then don't look. I don't know what to tell you.
Exactly. I'm that's a you problem, sir.
Yeah. I'm not wearing the full covers just because all of a sudden I'm a mom and no.
I'm not wearing a tankini at all. At any point in my life, am I wearing a Kohl's tankini? I don't care that I'm a mom. It doesn't feel good to me.
Yes. It's just, yes. There's, definitely some stuff that I was like, oh, maybe I just want more plain, or pants I just didn't sit right anymore. The way that they cut me off was very different.
Yes. Your body changes and it's okay that your body changes. I don't think it's necessarily healthy to have this idea that we have to get back to our pre-baby body because that body is dead. It doesn't exist. There is no such thing as your pre-baby body. There is only your post-baby body. This is your body now. It's going to just be different. You're always going to have a little bit of a pooch. Your hips are probably wider now. Your boobs are going to be fuller and then saggier when the milk goes away.
Gravity.
Gravity is a thing, guys. And it's okay. It's okay that our bodies change, that's just kind of like a message perpetuated, particularly at women in the beauty culture, is that like we're supposed to hit like a certain age in adulthood and then like just attain that forever. And it's just like, wait, what? No, why would we stay the same after a whole life where our bodies have shifted and changed dramatically? Look at a baby. We were just talking about how much they change in the first year. And then as they go through their childhood, like your body changes so much. It's supposed to change. And you hit adulthood and it's still supposed to change. It's okay.
Yeah. And like, as long as you feel good and you're confident in like what you're wearing, like who cares what people say or think? But I think that's the biggest takeaway is like your body's going to change. So adjust what you need to feel comfortable in this new body that you're in. So if that means
this new body. Yes.
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 So
yes. What does this new body feel like? Like just come find your home in your new body instead of like resisting it and hating it and like wanting it desperately to go away.
Yeah. And I think the biggest thing is really like invest in the clothes that's going to make you feel like good in it. Right.
Yeah.
Because you can.
Because you deserve to feel good.
Yeah.
I mean, let's face it. The last part of pregnancy feels like ass, and delivery absolutely like rips your body apart. Like you deserve to feel good.
And then the fourth trimester, like I started losing my hair at about 4 months, and it was just like, oh, I'm going bald.
Oh no. Yeah, and that happens for so many women.
I was one of them.
Yeah. And like for me, everyone was just like, oh, if you breastfeed, the weight will come right off. It'll just like come right off because you're breastfeeding. And my body actually did the opposite. It was literally impossible for me to lose weight while I was breastfeeding. My body like held on to the fat because it was just like, no, we need to hold on to this because we have to sustain you and this kid. We're holding on to the reserves. And it didn't matter what I did, what I tried. Like it was literally impossible for me to lose weight when I was full-time breastfeeding.
Yeah. And it really, during that time, you're not even supposed to be dieting. So like, and you're so hungry.
Right.
You're so hungry.
Oh my God, so hungry.
I just constantly eating anything and everything in sight. And so like during that stage, like, and I love food, enjoy the food.
Yes, exactly.
But once you're done, or once, the breastfeeding kind of, you're cutting back on that, like then you can start to figure out what does your body need. And it's not like you can just jump into a normal workout anymore. Like your abs have separated.
Yeah. Like, let's talk about that real quick.
So, no, I can't do a plank anymore, even on my knees. Like, ease into that.
Yeah. Yeah. Please ease into it. Your body is not the same. It's gone through, like, your body's basically gone through a trauma. Like, be gentle with it. Literally.
Right. And depending on your form of delivery, I had a C-section, like, that's 7 layers that are being cut through to bring this baby out. So your abs not only were separated, they were literally cut.
Yeah. Yes.
So I didn't know this either. Like the only reason I knew that when I came back to starting a workout, which, I didn't get any sort of guidance from my doctor. It was just like, you're cleared to start working out. I worked out I'm not joking, up until the day I had my son. I did boot camps. I did yoga every day. I ran, you name it. I did it all. I felt great. So once I was cleared to go back into working out, I didn't really even know where to start. And I have a background in fitness as well. Like I have a ton of different certifications. So the only reason I knew that I had to work on building that core up was because I saw that Peloton had these postpartum workouts, and they really walk you through why you need to ease back into it and how to build up that core and then, start being able to add more on. I didn't know that. Isn't that crazy? Like,
the doctor is just like, you're cleared. Just go do it.
Okay, I'm going to go run again.
Guidance.
And then there's like, if obviously your pelvic floor is going through a change too, what if your pelvic floor is having issues and then you can't run because of whatever you might be dealing with, whether it's prolapse or whether it's incontinence or tightness, whatever. Like, got to get that figured out.
Yeah. Yeah. And we need help like figuring that out. There's such a lack of support from the medical community in general for women. Postpartum, there just is not enough support. It's all baby focused during pregnancy, really. I mean, there is the you piece because you're the vessel. But it's really more focused on the baby, and postpartum, it's 100% just baby.
Yeah. Everyone comes to see the baby, not to see how you're doing or to ask if there's anything that they can help with, which I will say though, people are getting better about this. So I also always tell moms, like, start setting boundaries. And whenever somebody comes to see the baby, have a list of tasks that they can do before they hold the baby. Like, can you just like change the laundry or load my dishwasher or heat up this pre-made meal I have? Like something very simple. And people are happy to do that. Like, that's a way to get support.
Right. Asking for it. Right. Yeah. But there's also this idea that's been perpetuated that like, since we've chosen to have children, then the burden is 100% on us and we shouldn't really be asking for help because we're inconveniencing people and, we chose this life. And so you can't complain and you can't ask for help and inconvenience people. So there's a lot of guilt associated with even asking for help. Like most women, like 99.9%, like really struggle with asking for help.
Yeah, I did. And I had my mother-in-law come help willingly. And I still was like, I'll just do it. Like, I couldn't bend over. I had a C-section. I couldn't lift things other than my baby. I could barely move, right? I still the recovery was just crazy. The fact that our body goes through that and you have to slowly recover, but still keep a baby alive.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just couldn't just tell her, like, get comfortable with the kitchen. Here are meals. Here's like a daily list. I'm going to have like Instacart deliver. Next time I would totally do that. Actually, next time I would have a postpartum doula.
Yeah.
Also, yes, if I'm going to have a family visit or come help afterwards, like I would just be very vocal about this is how you can help me and I'm not here to host.
Right. Yes. Yeah, exactly. And it's just so bizarre that we even have the thoughts in our head that are making us believe that we should host when we're in a recovery situation like that.
I know.
It's absolutely ludicrous, the things that our brain offers us.
Yeah. Like, you should just be sitting and resting. Like, if somebody wants coffee, tell them to make it. Or instruct them on how to use the machine.
I will point you in the direction of the coffee maker, sir.
Yes, right? Like, you do this in your own home, I'm sure. You can do it in my home. I'm giving you permission to do it.
Yes. Yes. Please help yourself.
And help me.
Yeah, please. So what do you think was, because I know that you said that you, it sounds like did you have postpartum anxiety?
No, I didn't have postpartum anxiety or postpartum depression, but for me, it was just like the whole process of not knowing what I didn't know, constantly being on Google, like just thinking I could do it all, but not having the answers. That for me was kind of like what lit my fire. And like also feeling like I just wasn't, I hate to say this, but wasn't doing anything as far as my mental state with like keeping my brain active, if that makes sense, aside from, all the momming that I was keeping my brain active in, but just from a personal side of whether that's learning some sort of new skill or keeping up with the current skill that I had because I wasn't going back to work, but I didn't just want to sit back and like be a mom. Like I needed to do something creative and I don't know what it was.
Yes, but isn't it interesting that you still feel bad even admitting that?
I know. Yeah. I was just like, what do I do? And to be honest, for me, it was, I wanted to figure out like what I could do that was also creative that I thought I could be good at while being able to stay home and raise my son, because that was what I wanted to do. I had always said, if I'm going to have kids, I want the option to return to work. I don't want to have to go back to work. And I chose, I hate the term stay at home mom, by the way. We do not stay home. We are raising humans. Can we please reword it to raising humans?
Right.
So I just wanted to figure out like, what can I do so that I'm still able to like raise him while doing whatever it was that I was doing. And this is kind of what came to me because I just saw the need.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, it's just so interesting how we feel bad for wanting to admit, like, I don't want to just be a mom. I need something for me, like as a person, just me as a person who needs to have something to like be doing in life. Like we all need a point and purpose, and it's okay that we need fulfillment outside of our kids. Like that's so totally normal and healthy. And it sucks that we all still, I mean, in the year 2024, we're still like struggling with like admitting that and letting that be okay.
Yeah. And the burden, I feel like it's starting to kind of be a little bit better. And I've, read some data saying that millennial dads or this generation of dads is just a lot better about being a participant in their child's life and not just in like, let's say the sports setting, but like changing diapers and being supportive at home, which I think is amazing. And that's totally true for my husband. He's from day one has been super supportive and active and done, whatever he can whenever he's not working. We like to joke and say, because he'll just sometimes jokingly say, oh yeah, I'll babysit our son for you. If I'm like, oh, I'm going to go do this. Yeah, I'll babysit for you. And I'm like, okay, good. Because I just babysat all day. So now it's your turn.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that used to be a thing where like dads would be like, yeah, I'll babysit. You're like, but you're not.
It's your fucking kid.
You're not babysitting. Exactly. Like,
right. Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah.
So
that's great that you had that support with your husband, because it's not the case for everybody. And it's really nice when you do have a partner who is an actual equal partner like that. It makes everything so much easier.
Yeah. And not only is it good and healthy for like your own personal relationship with them, but also for like the relationship between the father and the child. Right.
Yeah.
Like not just these memories of like, oh yeah, I remember playing sports with my dad. Like, no, my dad also gave me a bath. Like my husband and I will divide the labor. Like, okay, well, we give my son the option. Who gives you bath time and who puts you down? And then whoever is doing bath, then the other person is cleaning up after dinner.
Nice.
So it's just kind of like a way of like it's a way to make sure that the home is running as much as it can. Because let's face it, right? Like your house is a mess. And that's something that I felt so bad about, like once I was no longer going into a classroom, like, oh my gosh, my house is so dirty, but I stay home with my son. How come I can't keep up with like the laundry and this and that? Let it go.
Yeah. Yeah. You can't, because a stay-at-home mom actually is like multiple full-time jobs and you're actually just one person and can't do all the full-time jobs at the same time and do them very well and complete. And it's okay. Like raising tiny humans, that's a full-time job all by itself.
Yeah.
And then the cleaning, that's a full-time job by itself. The meal planning, that's another full-time job. The errands, another one. Like I was having a conversation with a former potential client, and she was struggling, like spending the money on coaching for herself because she was just a stay-at-home mom and she didn't really feel like it was her money. And I was like, if you died or if you like just lost your last marble because you didn't get the help you needed to handle your stress and you just ran off, think about all the people that your husband would have to hire to replace you.
Yeah.
Like he'd have to hire about 4 people to do the job that you do every single day. You are just as entitled to the money that you guys share as he is. Because you're saving him hundreds of thousands of dollars a year.
Yeah. Like if you went back to work, like your entire salary would be going towards childcare anyway, right? So like there really is no difference in the fact that they would still be having to, or whatever, call it his salary is going to childcare. So now your money, it needs to be going towards his expenses.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
We got to change the mindset. I think we always think like it's always mom's job to stay at home, and
right.
Like some moms are the breadwinners, so they aren't the ones that stay home. And you know what? Some moms don't want to stay home, and I think more power to you if you don't want to. Like, I hate this idea that, you know, society thinks that it is the woman's job to stay home and raise the children, but and make them feel better for wanting to go back to work. Like if you want to go back to work, go do it. You know, some people need that. And
yeah, exactly.
Some people have to do it. Some people don't want to do it. I was always on the, I don't want to do it. Actually, I really wanted to be a stay-at-home dog mom before I became a human mom. My husband wasn't going for that, so it didn't work out. But
but yeah, it's all about just having choices, you know, and like letting it be okay. Like if you don't want to be a stay-at-home mom, I don't fucking blame you. I did that shit for 8 years and it's a lot of work. Like I had so much more time, and I actually got like a lunch where I sat down and I ate my lunch when it was hot and no one bothered me when I went back to work.
And it was great. You could use the restroom alone.
Yes. Yes. I could hear my own thoughts all day long. It was incredible.
Oh my goodness. I know. I always, you know, it's so crazy when you think about like moms that stay at home or just parents that stay at home. Like you literally do not get a break. The only break that you get is if they still take a nap. And even then, that's when you're like, oh my God, I got to prep and clean the kitchen and do this and do the laundry and do whatever it is that you need to do. Like,
fuck all of that. Anybody who is listening who does that with nap time, fuck all the other shit. You use that time for yourself.
Yes.
Please.
Yes.
Stop it.
I love that because that's what I do. I've like finally been like, you know what? He goes down and this is my time to do my 30-minute workout. The house is disgusting. I don't care because I need that workout. Like for my mental health, that is what I need to be a good parent.
Yes. And to just like, you get to just do it for you so that you can feel better in your own experience of your life. Like, even if it didn't make you a better parent, even if you just stayed like the same good parent, if you just were just the same because you're already a good parent, you can just do it for your own benefit, your own experience of your own life. Like you don't have to live in stress all the time.
Yeah. And I think that like, if you aren't giving yourself any time, like all you're doing is, you know, we're pouring from an empty cup. And then eventually you're just going to hit a wall. So like give yourself a little bit of something so that you can fill up that cup. And
you have to. Yeah. Because it's no one else's job to fill it up for you. It's your job.
And we feel guilty doing it, right? Like, oh my God, I gave myself, I was away from the baby for 30 minutes to, I don't know, go for a walk, whatever. I went to go get my nails. I do not feel bad at all. Like, this is what I need. I'll see you later.
Right. Yeah, but good for you. Because it is really hard for most women, and like mom guilt. That's why we're, you know, it's such a hot topic, and everybody knows what it is and what it feels like, because we always feel guilty. We struggle with feeling like these feelings of guilt for doing anything for ourselves. Because there's just, I mean, we're socialized to believe that our kids have to come first, and our family always has to come first, and we always have to come last. Otherwise, we're selfish and horrible and a really bad mom. And so it's realizing that socialization exists and that all of those beliefs are in your subconscious, and dealing with it and being like, no, actually, I don't have to believe that that's true. I can choose to believe that I matter. When I say that I put my family first, I'm actually a part of that family. So I have to put myself first too.
Yeah. And it's also like showing a good example for your kids if they're seeing that you are taking care of yourself. Like you're teaching them how to take care of themselves when they get into those relationships and if and when they decide to have a family. Like they're learning from us.
100%. 100%. Yeah. And that's something that was like, I started getting like really clear when I had my first daughter of like my body image issues that I would be passing on to her if I didn't figure my shit out and like actually learn to like love myself and love my body, because I'm like, holy shit, I have a girl. I don't want her to hate herself the way that I hate myself. And then I ended up having a total of 4 girls. And so I am very, very, very acutely aware of the messages that I'm sending them by what they're observing in me and how I live my life and how I navigate situations and how I take care of myself or don't take care of myself.
Yeah. Especially I think, with girls, like the way that you speak to yourself and that body image, like that's huge with girls, right? I have a little boy, so for me, I think it's a little bit different, but I do everything with him. He's literally my partner in crime. Like as an infant, I would just put him in his little bouncer and I would do a workout while he hung out in his bouncer. And today he goes grocery shopping with me and he helps me unload the dishes, whatever he can, helps me unpack the groceries. And he's 2, but he is like learning just from watching me. So now he does it without me asking him to do it. Or
Yeah, exactly. And it's important for moms who have sons, for those sons to see a woman putting herself first and prioritizing her self-care and all of these things too. So that way he can grow up and, expect that in women in his life, instead of expecting the woman to just sacrifice herself on the altar of her family.
Yeah. I mean, I think the kids are little sponges. So it's really like, I think this is the fun part where you get to really teach them by setting the example and not just by, do as I say, not as I do. It's really like, do as I do. Like, do this with me, do that with me. He loves to, cook, not that he can really cook, but like help me out in the kitchen in any way that he can. And that's something that's not just mom's job. Like that's our family job.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
There's
exactly. I love it.
No rules here as far as or gender specific rules, domestic rules. That's mom's job. That's dad's job. No, except for maybe the trash on occasion, but
we'll keep that gender socialization. Oh, amazing. So let people know, please, where they can get in touch with you if they'd like to connect and listen to your awesome podcast.
So you can find me on my website at newmomtalk.com. From there, you can connect to my Instagram, which is newmomtalk.podcast. Same with YouTube at newmomtalk. And if you are in the San Diego area, you can follow me on my mom groups, Carlsbad Mom Crew. That's on Instagram, or San Diego Mom Crew. You can also find all of the events on my website for that. So yes, please reach out if you have a topic in mind. I'm always happy to dive in and get those answered. I love hearing people's topic ideas because I'm only one person. So obviously I didn't experience everything that we all experience. Right. But I want to share.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining us. I really appreciate it. I like to end every guest episode with a round of lightning questions. So are you ready?
I'm ready.
Awesome. What did you want to be when you grew up?
A pediatrician.
A pediatrician. Interesting. Okay. But then what did you end up doing before you were a mom?
Special ed teacher. There's no way I could be a pediatrician. Oh my God, blood and bones freak me out.
I feel that. Yeah, it's definitely like a special calling.
Like, oh, there's a bone hanging out of, oh no.
Like, oh my God, I'm going to barf. Oh my goodness. What is your favorite kid-free dinner? So if no picky eaters are allowed to bitch, moan, or complain, what are we eating?
Oh man, what is my favorite? I love French fries. But that's a kid-friendly food. Pizza. Yeah.
Pizza? Any particular kind of pizza?
Veggie pizza. Throw on all those veggies. Okay. Yes.
Nice. What is your favorite book?
Ooh, I love Catcher in the Rye, which is read in high school, but it's just such a good read.
And I actually have never read that one.
It's good.
I'll have to read it just because it's a classic and everyone else read it in high school. I don't know why I didn't have to read it in high school. My high school just skipped that one. What is your guilty pleasure entertainment?
Ooh, trash TV. I love 90 Day Fiancé. That's one of them. I love Love is Blind.
Nice. That's awesome. This question I have stolen from the Low Life podcast because it's too good not to steal. If your belly button was an actual button, what would it do?
Ooh, it would fly. Like I could push it and then I would be able to like fly wherever I needed to be.
So is it like teleportation where you're just instantly there, or are you literally like levitating and flying?
Literally levitating and flying like Superman.
Cool. Awesome. Does it come with a cape too, or just,
of course,
just the flying?
And the cape is pink, not red. It's pink.
Of course. Yes. Finally, what's one thing in motherhood you'd like to say fuck it to?
The potty training and the diapers.
Oh my God, for real, potty training is the worst. I
think that's the worst part about parenting a toddler. No joke.
Toddlers in general are horrible. I think that's my least favorite age to parent.
I mean, I don't have...
But potty training is actually like straight from hell.
It is. It is like... I think we got it down now. We've been doing it for months. And these last 3 days, I was like, okay, we're hammering down. We're doing the naked baby. We got it. We've been doing it. And I think
nice.
I'm going to give myself a glass of wine for that.
You should. You absolutely should, because potty training sucks so much.
Yes. That's one thing that I've always said. I wish that there was like a service where I could like, kind of like daycare where I could send my kid to for 10 hours and then you just potty train them and then I'll pick them up.
That'd be amazing. I would so pay for that.
A lot of parents would.
Yeah, in a heartbeat, I'd pay for that.
It's a business idea.
That can be your next business venture. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. It was so much fun talking to you.
Are you ready to learn how to prioritize yourself? To ditch the wash, rinse, repeat stress cycle you've been stuck in for good? To connect with the amazing, badass, unique woman you are and let her flaunt her badassery with reckless abandon? Click the link in my show notes to sign up for one of my on-the-go coaching packages so you can live your one wild life to the fullest now. No need to schedule anything in that overflowing calendar of yours. This is coaching that works around your schedule no matter how chaotic it gets. Coaching for the busy mom, designed by a busy mom. No more excuses. You've put yourself off long enough. It's time to be the main character of your own life again, don't you think? See you next week, gorgeous.